Hey, this is Lee Nevis, host of CJ and Cell. Thanks for listening to the following podcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hey Pageant pals, I'm Maddie. And I'm Jess. And welcome back to another episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Whoop! I was just telling Jessica, I feel like we haven't recorded in forever.
It's been a minute.
Also, I'm sorry if I smell like hummus. And sharp cheddar.
No, I'm
honestly,
the only one that can be able to smell you, so it's okay.
No, honestly, my coworker Amanda, she got me hooked on hummus and this white cheddar cracker. Anyone from my office who's listening, hello. They all found the podcast this past week and have been talking to me about it, so that's very exciting.
Oh, fun.
So thanks for boosting our male demographic to my male coworkers who subscribed.
Appreciate that.
Totally.
It's your birthday week.
It is my birthday week.
Woo!
I talked last episode how the next time we would be recording would be 2 days before my birthday, and it's weird how that time has already flown.
Here we are.
My golden birthday, and I still have no idea what I want to do for it.
Sorry to break it to you, but I didn't plan a surprise party.
That's rude. I'm peeved. Someone else come and host this show. I'm over it. No,
I do have some fun things in mind, though, so.
I think I want to get sushi one of the nights. I don't know yet. I don't know.
Fun.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
We'll document it. It'll be great.
I was just saying before we hit record, I was like, do you want to read through anything before we start? But then I was like, no, we do the best before, we do the best when we just wing it. So
I
feel
wing
like
everything.
That's the same for everything in life, so fake it till you make it.
That's ironic because I feel like I'm the one who wings it and you're the one who really prepares.
Oh, I always prepare.
Exactly. I love winging it. I think it brings out a different element that you just can't prepare for.
Winging it gives me so much anxiety.
That's funny, too, because Amanda asked me today at work. She was like, do you ever get nervous just winging it? I'm like, no, never. But I also went to school for this kind of thing, I guess.
True.
So it makes sense.
You know what you're doing.
But I wouldn't go that far.
Ooh, yikes.
Hard pass. But anyways, our last episode, we talked with Miss Indiana all about her platform, about supporting the arts. If you want to listen to that,
you know where to find it.
go back and listen to it.
And rate it 5 stars.
Exactly.
We don't accept anything less. But today we posted a poll on our Instagram, and I also shared it on my personal page. And you guys came through with some great stories. We asked about your worst pageant experiences, and I feel like everybody has a handful of these, but nobody really talks about it. But you got like hardcore. I got so many messages in my inbox about this. So today we are going to go through some of our personal worst pageant experiences, from really annoying things that have happened, sketchy things that have happened, or just downright terrible things that happened. And then we're going to read yours that you submitted.
I'm excited.
This is a fun one.
It totally is. Also, I'm looking in my reflection, and I cannot help but notice how badly I need to get my hair colored. I was going to go next weekend, but it's the last Badger home game, so I don't think I can go. I can't commit, so I think I have to go in 2 weeks. I don't know. What do you think? Can I hold out 2 weeks?
I mean, okay, this one time, if my sister's listening, she'll know. One time I tried to highlight her hair on my own. I've never highlighted anyone's hair on my own.
I wasn't going to go that far.
You won't let me do your hair. Are you kidding me? One time I tried to highlight my sister's hair, and I didn't want to use that weird cap thing in the box. And so I just painted it on her hair, and there was a huge blonde spot on her head. I still feel bad about it.
See, but the thing is, when I get my hair done, I still go back to lacrosse for my hair. So it's a 2 and 20 to get there. It's a 4-hour appointment time, and then 2 and 20 back. So it's kind of
an entire day.
It's an all-day commitment, and I can't commit to that when there's the last Badger game, because this year I've just apparently become a really big Badger basketball fan. You know, times are changing.
We're turning over a new leaf.
I'm evolving. Okay, I'm almost 23.
But we're doing good, thriving.
But let's get to these bad pageant experiences, because
I love this.
We have quite a few. So Jess, you start.
Sure.
Because you're the first on our outline.
We're kicking it off. So I haven't had a whole lot of terrible pageant experiences, but there is one local organization in our state that I cannot stand, and I will never, ever, ever, if I were competing again, I'd never compete there ever again. But it's a local pageant, and they charged a $10 fee to all of their local contestants to get talent music approved. And I was like, okay. So the only time I competed there was one of my first years that I was ever involved. So I feel like I was a little bit naive. I didn't know how this thing worked, but I did figure out along the line that this is not normal, and it's really sketchy because no other local in our state does that.
I just see baby Jessica being like, "Oh, this is normal. This is fine.
No.
I love Miss America. I love competing.
But no,
that
after
was
that,
total my impression of you when
Really?
you started. I was like, this Jessica Hammer girl. She's just this like young little like super positive like. Loves like the local. How many locals did you compete in so I'm trying to think what year did you start actually doing like a lot of locals? Okay. Not like one,
my first local was 2014 when I was a senior.
Okay. When did you start
when I really started was the next year, so when I was a freshman in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember
because you got your first title before, like right before then.
Okay.
Yeah, and it took me another 2 years.
Yes, and I just remember being like, who is this young little, like, I don't even know. Just like, I just remember you were so
pure.
positive. You were pure, you were positive.
Now I'm tainted.
Yeah, hadn't been tainted yet. Do you remember your first impression of me?
I don't really know. Because I think, like, the first time I met you was...
Was I rude?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Because we were in the same dressing room at Miss Northern Lights.
But I thought we could...
I don't think we met before then, though. Like, actually meet.
Okay.
I don't think
Did you have an impression of me before that? I think first impressions are some of the coolest things.
They're so funny. I don't think so. I just knew that I was a little bit intimidated by you because you'd had a title before.
Go off.
Oh my god, Maddie just winks at me and like
But so anyway, Jessica had to pay this $10.
Yeah, I had to pay this $10 fee to get my music approved, which is stupid because like where does that money go? Because I didn't see it ever again, and no other local pageant requires a $10 fee for music approval.
Yeah, state doesn't even do that.
No, state doesn't do that. So
interesting. Unless directors secretly paid for and don't tell anyone. But
oh my god, I don't know. But that local program is very sketchy, and I'm curious why it hasn't been shut down yet. So if you want to know which one, just DM me and I'll let you know to steer clear.
Yeah, there's a lot of locals too that don't actually abide by state rules.
Yeah.
Like
it's so weird.
Different like I'm trying to think what it is, but they all kind of like they don't abide by like remember for the longest time nobody would actually do the onstage question rule where they were supposed to be like political or platform.
Everyone would just kind of
do whatever they want. Yeah. It's kind of annoying.
I know. Okay. Nothing was consistent.
What's your next one? Number 2.
My next one was phone policies. Oh my god. Okay, during state pageant week specifically, I mean, I get it. I get that you're, it's game time, you're trying to focus, whatever, but if you like the organizations keep doing like, we want you to promote all this. We want you to promote ticket sales. We want exposure for our organization. We want sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. But when you get 27 girls all together in the same place for an entire week and you don't give them their phones, how are you going to do that? I mean, it frustrated me.
I just don't like not having my phone. I think
I take pictures on my phone too.
I understand it's hard when there's age range of 17 to now 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I don't know. I really think that it's common sense when you should have your phone out, when you shouldn't. I mean, some people probably not. And I think when you're 17 years old, maybe it's different now because we're older. But like when I was 17, I look back to, I'm like, oh, like would I have been on my phone more, been like disrespectful or something like that?
Right.
But it just bothers me, especially when there's downtime where like you're not allowed to have your phone. There's just a lot of extreme
things. Post like. There were times where
you can't have your phones because of the dressing room policy, but I'm pretty sure nobody's trying to take pictures.
Nudes. Nobody's going to take nudes in the dressing room.
First of all, no. Second of all, not the time or place.
No.
Come on.
But that frustrated me because we're old enough to know when it's appropriate to have our phones, and like I get it when you're not supposed to be distracted or whatever, and you might get some sort of message that would completely throw you off. I don't know. But there were times where I was like, I just want to step away and call my mom right now, and I couldn't.
Well, I remember when there was the steamer rule when,
oh God.
Oh, I loved them to death when a few of my friends actually, a steamer exploded and someone got burned or whatever. But then the next year they wouldn't let us have steamers in the back room. And I brought mine specifically and I said, this is one of my more ballsy moments, but I'm just like, this is a custom evening gown.
Yep.
If you want to refund me for this or, do whatever because my evening gown's not going to be right, like you can, but I'm bringing my steamer back here.
Yeah.
Like I'm not paying whatever for a custom gown and then having it being wrinkled because
there's no steamers allowed backstage. That's crazy.
It's like, I know how to use a steamer. It's my steamer. Like I can do it. I used to work retail. I steamed every single day. I got it.
Yeah.
You're just not trusted. Like you're an adult, but you're not trusted.
I remember backstage, my first year at State, and you were just like butt naked, just steaming my gown for me.
Oh, 100%. Oh, it's so hot back there.
Oh, it's so warm. I was just
I steamed everyone's dresses.
Oh, that was awesome.
Especially in my last year. I find steaming just calming, and
I appreciate that. I really do.
But then I remember she's like, okay, well, you're the only one who's allowed to steam then. So I did everyone's dresses.
Mother Madeline.
Still didn't win Miss Congeniality, though.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
We're still salty.
Never mind.
All right. I want to hear yours.
All right. So I'll briefly go over this one because I talked about it in a few episodes. 2 different times at State, so 2 separate years out of my 4, 2 different contestants felt the need to tell me how I just blew my onstage questions, which is ironic because the first year I was in the top 10. That was like when I was 18, 19. This girl she was salty and rude. She didn't make top 10. And then the other year it happened, it was my top 5 answer, and this girl didn't make to the 5. I don't know if she made the 10, but it's just rude. Like, I just could never imagine saying to someone like, wow, you really blew that. Or,
I know.
You just sounded like you didn't know what you were talking about. That's what she said.
Yeah, what the heck?
And it's like, wow, I'm so glad you're a part of this empowering organization where we build women up, not tear them down.
I wish you said that.
Great.
Wow, you're great. Go you.
You're a role model. That's the thing. Oh, it made me so angry.
No.
But I've heard I could write a book on all of the things I've heard. Or people have told me that contestants have said to them.
Oh, yeah.
What, whoever, director, whatever, have all said.
People get crazy when it's like.
They do, and it's a really intense experience. I always talk about how my first year, I had never experienced any other year like my first year just because there were 13 girls coming back who had previously made top 10, and a lot of them were aging out. So it was so intense. I was 18, 19 years old, had no idea what I was doing. It was just the craziest experience, and that caliber, even like the next few years were just unmatched because it was so, like the stakes were so high. Everybody was bringing their A game and nobody knew it was going to happen.
For sure.
Otherwise, either at local pageants or a state or whatever, when you go over the walking patterns over and over, and then they're like, okay, you can either have downtime or we can just do it again. And then there's one girl who will raise her hand and be like, can we just do it again?
No!
I would get so angry. Or
no!
Just like stupid things that we have to keep doing over and over because we have too much time allotted. Whatever. Speaking of, when things don't run on time, I know that's ironic because I do tend to run late here and there.
Here and there.
Whatever. But like on scheduling, when things are running behind, running early, it's kind of the
when
worst.
You're just hurry up and wait kind of thing.
Well,
really
and that's the thing. It's just like, come on, you know how long this should be taking. Let's get it together. This isn't rocket science. We're making this pageant day schedule here.
Right.
Interviews. Run your talent if you're not doing your interview,
Yep.
Come on.
Should be a well-oiled machine.
Exactly. I'm trying to think. Have you ever heard me talk about any other experience I've been really mad about? I was trying to go back today through all of the pageants, all of the state pageants.
I know.
All of the pageants I visited, etc. And I can't really.
Okay, one thing though that annoys me. It's just a stupid little thing.
Okay.
But one thing that annoys me is when there's no music during a crowning moment.
Oh
no!
I just don't know how people don't figure that out.
Like, there should always be music during a crowning moment. Otherwise, it's the most awkward thing for the girl being crowned and for the audience.
I also
and it's
agree,
just weird.
during onstage question, there should be music.
Oh, yeah.
Some kind of instrumental, even in the background. I don't care what it is. Just put something there. I just don't understand how these things are forgotten about. I think these are the most basic things.
Oh, yeah.
And I understand it's so hard to put on a show or a pageant or whatever, but come on.
Music.
Yeah, right?
Like, what? I don't know. Like, how could that be passed up during, like, rehearsals and stuff, too? Like, when you do, like, the full sound check and everything. I don't know.
It just makes me so angry.
That's one of the cringiest things. I think at a pageant is if you don't have music during crowning.
I
And it's just
agree.
like silent. Like after everybody's done clapping for her, it's just like,
Okay, right, and everyone feels uncomfortable,
yeah.
and I don't know too. It's a lot, and I think too there's a difference between like a production
Oh, yeah.
and just kind of like, okay, like this
A
is kind
show.
of, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If I think of anything, I'm trying to think, I know I've had some times and I've been trying to think of what they are. It's so hard to go back and remember what those are. I'm trying to even think like weird interview questions that really made me mad.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've been thrown some like really crazy interview questions before, but none that I've ever been like truly upset or been like, oh, that was a train wreck. But
right. No, I don't think. Yeah, we'll come back if I
come
think
back to
of
that if you think of it.
anything.
But let's get to your submissions because some of these are just really, really funny. We're going to keep these completely anonymous, but let's fire away. So first one says, when I competed in teen, there was a contestant who decided to spend the entire final day of rehearsals belittling me and tearing me down with insults, and I spent the 2 hours we had to get hair and makeup done sobbing to a former miss of mine.
I wonder if she won teen that year.
I don't know.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I have no idea.
But that's terrible.
I just don't understand what you gain from that.
I know.
Again,
that's like with any like mean girl situation.
Well,
what are you gaining?
Even when those two girls said that to me, I was like, what are you gaining here?
Yeah. Does it make you feel better? I don't know.
Exactly. Especially
It's not gonna change
when it
anything.
was right after, again, like, I made the 5, they didn't. I made the 10, they didn't. It's like, at that point, what are you going to do? Like, I already placed at this point. Like, are you trying to, like, make me mad or, on like,
yeah.
I don't know. Can't relate. Don't understand.
Can't stand that. But it's terrible that happened.
The thing is, too, especially, so I'm trying to make it about me again, but kind of.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Well, an onstage question, too. Anyone can get lowballed a really weird onstage question. I don't know. I just think that that's something that it's kind of, you have to be a little bit lenient with, especially because it's just like, people don't understand how hard it is to stand in front of an audience, speak into a microphone, bright lights, a question that's usually, again, stupid because nobody knows how to write onstage questions.
Irrelevant.
So I feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
But on to the next one. This one comes from another girl. My local directors kicked me out of rehearsal and almost didn't let me crown the next title holder because I told them it was inappropriate that they were having my teen change clothes on side stage in front of all of the backstage volunteers.
Gross.
That's dramatic. Not like the girls being dramatic, but I think it's dramatic that they almost won't let her crown someone. What the heck?
That's crazy.
That's just stupid. Like, there are so many bigger things to worry about. AKA, do you have crowning music?
Right.
You know?
Right. That's just weird. Like, could you imagine if you were like, if you, so say you're changing during a show and they would be like, nope, you have to change here on side stage. And there's like a bunch of like male, like guys just like chilling
Especially
backstage.
A teen.
Especially
That's
a teen.
really uncomfortable.
Just like young and
If I was the
vulnerable.
miss, if you would have asked me in 2015, I would have felt really bad. If you asked me now, I'd be like, fine, someone else can do it. you put on my evening gown and go out there.
Get out there.
It's your time to shine. It's your moment.
Let's go,
You got
sunshine. Yeah, I think that's terrible. That's creepy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this next one.
That's actually, that story is about the same organization that I'm talking about. From the $10 fee.
Crazy.
Sketchy, let me tell ya.
If you're listening and you can put together the clues,
DM us.
Jessica's throwing some shade.
I'm going to throw some shade because I want this program to be shut down.
That's hilarious.
This local program because it's a disaster.
That I cannot speak on because I never competed there.
Oof, Lord.
I really didn't
one and
do
done
any.
on that one.
Yeah, I never did like
smaller locals.
just
You did
opens in
opens.
general. Like
Yeah.
I did a few, but there were always people that I knew.
Yeah.
Besides sweeps. Anyways,
Alrighty.
this is my favorite one
Oh yeah.
because I think it's hilarious. This person wrote in, I thought it was her. Darn.
Oh no.
I heard of one local director that didn't start state preparations with their title holder until a week before the competition. When Jessica told me this one last night, I just died laughing.
Because that's you.
Well, that's so funny that a director like the week before is like, all right, so are you all set? Can you imagine?
Are you ready? Do you have a gown?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I think that one is just great.
No, that's really, it's unfortunate, but it's funny.
Well, one girl who, I don't remember who, actually I think I remember who it was. Her director quit during state week.
Oh, there have been multiple. There have been multiple.
Can you imagine? I quit!
I'm done. Sorry, you're on your own.
Getting up during talent rehearsal. I'm calling it quits. I've had enough of this. I'm going to quit right now.
Could you imagine, though, like, the director's like, get up there and win this thing, but I'm out.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's funny.
This next one. So the next couple are, I'll just read them. So this one says, the mayor of the town was a judge for a local pageant I competed in, and the first thing he said to me in my interview was, how does it feel to be competing against a bunch of tall, skinny, pretty girls? Mind you, I'm a plus-size contestant.
Though honestly, I think you could win a pageant if you answered that
If you answered that right? Oh, yeah.
Actually, like, thinking about it, my initial thoughts, like, that's horrible. But then...
But at the same time, it might be a question to totally throw you off. It's
Yeah.
rude. It's a super rude question. But if you came back with, like, some, like...
But guess what?
Really
Gretchen's
good.
rude. So
Gretchen's rude. Yeah. The next one is similar, and it says, I was told on multiple occasions that I would never do well because I'm curvy. Screw them. Yeah. I mean, it's this is terrible.
I think
Rude.
it's such a double-edged sword because it used to be an organization that, some people either viewed as it's empowering, it promotes wellness, etc. And some people are like, no, it gave me anxiety and I hated it.
I think you're in either in one category
or the other.
Yep.
And like we talked about on previous episodes, I'm someone that I felt empowered. It inspired me to get a trainer. I miss my trainer. I miss you, Jordan, from lacrosse. But it really made me dial in and focus on my wellness. So it was really fun. And I love swimsuit. I've always been somebody that was very comfortable with my body. Like, even from a young age, I always wanted to wear the Britney Spears crop tops and have my belly button pierced. But that was just me and my experience.
Yeah.
But then it does, but it goes back, again, only my opinion.
Right.
But
everybody has a very different experience with that.
Right. But I'm also someone that, like, if you really don't like something about the organization, you can go compete in a bunch of other different organizations that don't do swimsuit. But like, that's me. Like, again, like, I don't really agree with 2.0. So like, I'm not competing. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Like, if there's something that you don't like, you can either change it or you can find success in another program.
Right. And it's a double-edged sword because it's
very,
like,
very, very, very.
Okay, are you trying to get people, like, to be like super healthy, or are you trying to tell people to embrace the skin they're in? Like, what do you want?
That's
Pick
hard.
a lane,
That's hard.
It's really, that's a societal thing though.
Oh, it is.
It's
always
between
been like
body
that.
confidence and like anorexia, obesity, whatever spectrum.
Oh,
It's exhausting.
it is. I wish it was an easier topic to discuss.
It is, and it's hard because, and then I'm sure people who are listening to this are like, what would you two know about that?
Right.
Because, like, we don't really
it's not
deal
my
with
experience.
we don't
it's not
deal
my
with that.
experience.
So it's hard to speak on it. That's our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would be different. I don't know. Can't tell you. This is our podcast.
So, oh my God.
This is our experience.
Yeah. I mean, we can only speak from personal experience,
Right.
but I imagine like that wouldn't be a fun thing to hear, obviously.
No.
But I would really want for like some hardcore clap back to that judge. Like, I think that would be really cool.
I would just say, watch me. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's what I would
Get up
say.
there and do it. Own it.
I'm trying to think if there's something that we could, say about that to make it relate to us. Like, I was told on multiple occasions I would never do well because I'm blank.
Well,
because
talent. I suck at talent. Talent is my
Has anyone ever told you that
talent.
you would never do well because of your talent?
Well, the Voy boards did.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Voy boards sure did.
As a director has another contestant, like, have you?
I mean, like, directors, volunteers, like, people that have mentored me before, they tell me straight up that like talent is my weakest, and I knew that, and I think like it's the same for any other area of competition where someone is weak. It's like you have to recognize that, and then you have to go back and own it.
But I also think too that maybe requires you to be stronger in other categories,
right?
Like, that's the thing too. It's like you are like, oh, my talent's my weakest, but everyone who I've heard talk about you says you're a great interviewer.
I love interview too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's one of those things where, if that's the way it is, and it's like not going to change it's not a fix you can make overnight,
right,
then you do have to be stronger in other areas.
For sure.
To make up either that score or,
right,
whatever.
Yeah. Tricky.
You never know. Very tricky. And I mean, again, pageants are a crapshoot, so who knows?
True that.
All right.
You got the next one?
When I bought my state gown, my director said okay and didn't compliment it.
Oh, no.
I do want to know, though. I'm like, okay, did they get the approval before they bought it?
True.
Because I think
this could be multiple
What if I was a director and somebody went out and bought an evening gown and it was horrible? Like, I couldn't compliment it.
True.
I don't know who wrote this.
Yeah, again, this is anonymous.
Just on the outline, so
this is anonymous. True, because it could be bad from the director's viewpoint, because they could be like, well, I never saw your options,
right?
So okay,
it depends how hands-on the director is.
Yeah, that's tricky.
If they were kind of like, I don't care what you do, and you went and bought it, and they said, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you did it behind their back, maybe not a good idea.
Yikes. Let's see. This one made me laugh. This one says, in my interview, I was asked what my greatest fear was, and I said, being murdered alone in my apartment. Facepalm.
I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm just kind of confused.
I don't know. I laughed though when I first read it.
Murdered alone in my apartment.
Because could you imagine, like, you're in your interview, and they're like, "What's your biggest fear?"
And you hate stupid questions like that.
I know, and you could go with something like super deep or like philosophical, Pageant Patty, or you could just be like, "Well, I'm scared of being murdered in my apartment."
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know why this makes me laugh.
Those are the questions that I hate the most, the fluff questions. One time I got asked, "Are you happy?"
And you're like,
what the heck?
What if you went into just like this super deep, like, I'm actually really not. I'm really unhappy
Starts
right now.
Crying.
Starts crying. Explains all the terrible things that have happened and
like the whole
your depressive episodes. Up. Yeah.
They're like, it was great therapy for me. Free therapy. Minus my $100 CMN fee. 60% going to Miss America.
Thanks for the free therapy, MAO. No, but I
didn't show up for the show.
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever cried more than I have, like, in my life than because of pageant stuff. I think I cried every single day at State Week this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were really sensitive that week, which is fine. I was there for it. I listened to it.
Yeah, you sat backstage with me during one of the days.
I was a great friend that week. You were a great friend to me too, but
yeah.
I'm just saying.
We were there for each other that week. Ooh, that was rough. That was really rough.
Did I B-word a lot that week? I'm trying to remember. I don't really remember what I really did that week. I felt like pretty calm.
Yeah, you just kind of hung out that whole week while I was just like, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep.
That's because when I'm just like, whatever, that's when I do the best.
Yeah.
When I like don't give a F, you know?
True.
But yeah.
Appreciate that.
I felt so bad though. But I totally get it. I mean, the difference is like I was like that my third year and I didn't place, and then Jessica is like that and she gets first runner up. So like
I don't really know.
This one. Okay, I want to read this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a relation to this one.
Yeah.
So this girl wrote in, I was asked a super easy question for on-stage interview, and I answered with world peace. Haha. I cried backstage before evening gown, which is funny because this girl, I was right after her for that on-stage question.
At a local?
Yeah, we competed together, and I was the contestant right after she said that, and I had no idea what to do or say.
Aww.
It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I just remember hearing that and I was like, I don't know what to do or say, or the audience. I think they like start cheering, you know.
Oh yeah.
Audiences can be pretty supportive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh.
But
that's always so well, on stage question, we've said this before, is like my least favorite, just the freaking worst. And there are honestly some times where I've like this happened at State this year. Prelim on stage question. They asked me the question. I had no idea what to say. So I just pulled something out of my butt and it turned out.
I remember Katie.
It was terrible.
Didn't Katie come up to you and she was like, yeah,
not the best. My director this year too, Abby, she was like, so afterward, this was the same night that I won swim prelim too. And so I met her like afterward during our visitation thing. And she was like, hey, like, how are you feeling? And I'm like, well, like, I'm excited because like I got swim prelim, but I also bombed my onstage question. She was like, yeah, that was really terrible, but we won't talk about that.
It was
I'm
not trying to put you on blast, but
no, yeah.
were you crying backstage? I think I remember
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Okay,
I cried
don't
after that
blame
because
you.
I was like, oh my God,
I
are
didn't
you kidding
hear
me?
it, but
Ugh.
you said it was bad. I remember Katie came up to you and
yeah.
said something.
It was
which,
terrible.
Honestly, I think everyone has bad on-stage
Everyone-
questions.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anybody ever feels like, yes, I nailed it.
Well, my on-stage question was about some ID voting.
Oh,
in
yeah, voter
Ohio.
ID
Yeah,
in another state.
in Ohio, and they were like, should they be kicked out of the system if they don't register in how many years? And my first reaction was to be, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was Miss Ohio. I thought this was Miss Wisconsin.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I probably
Where
shouldn't
did
say
this come
that.
from?
If I could go back, maybe I would have said that now.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, I don't know, because it's a stupid question.
It's dumb.
I mean, come on. And I remember that one. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I covered it. It was fine.
Right.
But whatever. Like my top five question, I like almost dry heaved in the middle
like
of it.
Coughed in the middle.
Well, that's what's funny is that entire week. Well, first of all, I was dealing with other issues that I can't talk about on here. Like Jessica, you, Mackenzie, I
all huddled together.
Well, I just had a rash. That's all I'll say.
I had a rash.
And I was dealing with that all week. And then on top of that, like every talent rehearsal, I would just dry heave all the time after the talent rehearsals and everything. And after every time I did my dance, I don't know why. I also don't breathe very well.
Oh, I never
breathe. No. Even when I would do like my workouts in lacrosse with my trainer, he would be like, why don't you ever breathe?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a dance thing.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
I would always dry heave. And then I was answering this onstage question about gun control. And I'm very passionate about it. And I was talking about school shootings and bringing up these different gun statistics. And all of a sudden, I just kind of like pause. And I feel it in my throat.
You're gonna like throw up everywhere.
And I just cough in the middle of it. And then the audience starts laughing.
Oh, it was so funny.
And I'm like, and then I keep talking and finish my answer.
It was just funny because the top 5 like onstage question, like at that point, everything is just so intense.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's all like on edge, and then you just like cough in the middle, and everybody's like,
laughing.
"Oh, everything's okay."
And then that's when I came off, and the girl's like, "Yeah, when you did that, you just sounded like you didn't know what you were talking about, and you just needed a second to think about it." I was like,
"You're like, why would I cough?"
I know.
First of all, if that was the case,
let's think too. You learn to talk your way out of things, and it's like I think at that point I could have talked my way out of it, but that was I don't know. Like I don't think that would be my first fight or flight instinct, but whatever.
I thought that was funny. This next one says, I got my period on my white talent costume right after swimsuit.
That sucks. That's all I really have to say about that one.
Yikes.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yikes. That's happened, to many people, I feel like, for sure. Ugh.
This one I think is also funny. This is the last one we have. I do color guard for my talent and had to perform it outside because the ceiling was too low in the venue.
I want to know the details about this though. Like I want to know like did they take the judges outside too? Was like the whole audience come outside like so you can perform your talent and then everybody goes back inside?
Right.
I'm just very curious. I think that's really funny.
That is.
Man. These were good. Thank you guys for submitting all of these. These are hilarious. If you have any more, just DM us because we love to hear from you and we love to hear about all these really unfortunate things that happen to other people.
Well, there's just so many things that go wrong.
Oh, yeah. It's not a perfect world.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm trying to think if I've ever had a really, really bad interview or a really bad.
Oh,
There's a talent. I remember where I rolled my ankle and somebody actually got the picture. I think it was from state, my second year. My point to my foot is rolled.
Ew.
It's such a gross picture. Maybe we'll put it up on the Instagram, but it's so bad.
Yeah, you need to find it.
I'll
throw a quote on it and we'll make it
We also
legit.
need to post the Teresa Scanlon wig picture.
Oh my god.
We haven't done that yet.
Oh, we've got loads of social stuff coming up then.
Exactly. And I was talking with Jessica about this before the show. We were talking about what should we do for What Would You Rather segment, since we always do that. But I've been thinking about this, and we've talked in past episodes about pageant budgets and how much you actually spend and just being super real.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me nervous to talk about, but we're going to ask you this question, and we're also going to put it on our Facebook, because I'm curious.
Yeah.
For everyone who has competed out there. So out of the years you have competed, so years, do you think you have earned money from your scholarships? and obviously pageant spending,
Mm-hmm.
broke even, or are in the hole. What do you think? Let us know, because
Let us know if you think that you actually got some financial benefit from
Right.
this.
And everybody talks about how great, it was a scholarship program, but I don't
Yeah.
really think a lot of people compete just for the scholarships,
Oh no.
because I don't really think you break even now. And I do agree you do not need to spend a lot of money to compete.
Oh no, not at all.
But as you start competing more, I think you get kind of more expensive
You get
taste.
hooked. You get hooked. You
You
get
get
all the stuff
hooked.
that you need. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I look back at my first evening gown. Remember we bought it? It was like a couple $100.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was 2 sizes too big. It had a rip in it. It was awful. And then my taste got a lot more expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to know, like, how much I've spent on, like, spray tans alone, or eyelashes alone, or makeup,
hotels, travel.
gas, hotels, travel, tickets, everything that, like, you and your family have spent on this. Do you think that you are in the hole? Do you think that you, like, actually earned money back from your scholarships and, like, are above water? Or do you think that you completely broke even and you're like, okay, I spent the same that I earned?
Right.
I'm curious.
Right. And that includes, like, family hotel rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Your family to come see you at state. And
Oh, I'm definitely in the hole. My family's huge.
And, like, if you get your hair colored just for, like, pageant, like, again, I started dyeing my hair because of MAO, so I would accredit that
Oh, yeah.
as a part of my spending.
To MAO
The
spending.
upkeep.
Oh, my God.
All of those things.
Oh, my God.
I sometimes wonder if there was somehow a total of, like, you could keep track of
Oh, I
actually
wish.
everything. I don't know if I want to see it.
Oh, God, no. It's probably so much.
I'd be sick.
Yikes. But yeah, we'll post that on our Facebook and you can weigh in and let us know where you think that you are at if you have competed before.
Exactly.
All right.
We're wrapping her up.
Let us wrap up. It's been a great episode 14. It's crazy that we got here. Everybody can hop on social media on Saturday and wish Maddie a happy birthday.
Oh my gosh. Cringe.
Yay. I'll be like waking up at the ass crack of dawn.
Oh my god.
And I'll be like, I'll come into your room with like birthday cake and I'll be like,
I lock my door every night.
Because you're afraid?
No, well.
Do you really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god,
I lock my door every night because I also am afraid of home intruders.
That's fair. Well,
I just feel safer.
Well, I'll be the first one to go then. Yikes. All right, we will see you in 2 weeks. Be sure to follow Public House Media and Crowned and Dangerous on Instagram and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe, rate, and review the show wherever you're listening right now. You can comment on our posts or email us or slide into our DMs because we love to hear from you. There you go.
Yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks on March 7th, potentially 2 days before I get my hair recolored because of Badger basketball. I can't make the commitment for a new episode. This has been Maddie and Jess reminding you to always wear your invisible crown. Keep it real, and if you do not know what to say, world peace.
Bye.